Subscribe to GSS for competition giveaways, free one-to-one lessons, and credits towards our vast catalogue of materials. Vocabulary exercises. Pronunciation practice. Cadence rhythm.
Chapter 2, Part 2. Mr. Henfrey has a shock. After Mrs. Hall had left the room, he remained standing in front of the fire and watched the clock being mended. Mr. Henfrey worked with the lamp close to him, and the green shade shone a bright light onto his hand. And onto the frame and wheels, and left the rest of the room in shadow. He took longer than he needed to remove the wood. Insides of the clock, hoping to have some conversation with the stranger. However, the stranger stood there, perfectly silent and still. So much so that it frightened Henfrey. He felt alone in the room and looked up, and there he stood, grey and shadowy, with a bandaged head and large dark glasses. Staring in front of them. It was so strange that for a minute they stood staring at each other. Then Henfrey looked down again. He would have liked to say something. Should he say that the weather was very cold for the time of year? The weather, he began. Why don't you finish and go? Said the stiff figure angrily. All you've got to do is fix the hour hand. You're simply wasting time. Certainly, sir. 1 more minute. I forgot. Mr. Henfrey finished and left the room. Really, said Mr. Henfrey to himself, walking down the village straight through the falling snow. A man must mend a clock sometime. Surely. And then, can't a man look at you? And yet, it seems he can't. If you are wanted by the police, you couldn't be more wrapped up and bandaged. At the street corner, he saw Hall, who had recently married the lady of the inn. "Hello, Teddy," said Hall as he passed. "You have a strange visitor," said Teddy. Hall stopped. "What did you say?" he asked. "A strange man is staying at the inn," said Teddy, and he described Mrs. Hall's guest. "It looks strange, doesn't it? I'd like to see a man's face if I had him staying in my house, but women are so foolish with strangers." "He's taken your rooms, and he hasn't even given a name." "Is that so?" said Hall, rather stupidly. "Yes," said Teddy, "and he has a lot of boxes coming tomorrow, so he says." Teddy walked on, easier in his mind, and after the stranger had gone to bed, which he did, at about 9:30, Mr. Hall went into the parlour and looked very hard at the furniture, just to show the stranger wasn't master there. When he went to bed, he told Mrs. Hall to look very closely at the stranger's boxes when they came. The next day. "You mind your own business, Hall," said Mrs. Hall, "and I'll mind mine." But in the middle of the night she woke up, dreaming of great white heads at the end of long necks with big black eyes that came after her. However, being a sensible woman, she turned over and went to sleep again.
Interrogative practice 1. Basic question 4. Present simple example. Auxiliary, do. Subject, your family. Verb, live. Complement, near here. Ask 2 direct questions to your local handyman or handywoman. Interrogative practice 2.
Present continuous. Auxiliary is. Subject, your family. Verb, driving. Complement, here, now.
Ask 2 direct questions to a person recently arrived to live near you. Exercise code B3128. Bravo 3128. Send your answers to GSS_2024_66 or ask your teacher for options.